Alright, this video is one of the ball screen reads. We're talking about taking it yourself. Technically, it's the first option of the ball screen reads, either take it yourself to the basket or shoot over the top of the screen. But as we'll see and as we'll talk about, it's fairly uncommon, but obviously it's a relevant enough option to make a whole video about. So let's get into it. So this first option is actually fairly uncommon because most defenses don't allow the ball handler just to drive straight to the basket like this, but obviously we can see that sometimes it's relevant, so we'll cover this first option. We can see how the ball handler uses the ball screen well to get this first defender caught behind, and then she's behind her and out of the play for a second. And she does this by coming off really tight, really close to the screen. So with that first defender out of the picture, now we look at the help defender here. Usually, they're either hedging or showing or doing something to slow down the ball handler, but we can see she's a little bit out of position and off to the side of that screen, giving Alimand just enough of a lane to the basket, which she takes advantage of really nicely, driving hard to the hoop. And then when we look at this picture here, we can see her initial defender caught on the screen way behind the play. She's about to get a step on this defender going to the basket for an easy layup. Also, when we break down film like this, it's important to look at the whole court and all of our options. And in this case, this help defender here doesn't come and help to stop the layup, but it's worth recognizing that if she were to slide over and help, then we would have a wide open shooter in the corner, because next time that might be the case. But like I said, that's just something to note for potential future plays. Obviously in this case, the layup was a pretty good read. And just another angle here to see the ball screen. You can see how both defenders are already starting off to the same side of the screen, which is almost definitely a mistake or miscommunication. And then Alimand, the point guard, takes full advantage and gets the bucket. So this play is a little bit different in the sense that the defense is not making such an obvious mistake or miscommunication, but the result is the same, with the point guard taking it herself for a nice and one. So we'll see how she reads this one. First, McCall sets a good solid screen, and in this case the defense switches. So now Kennedy Carter has a big guarding her, and being the hooper that she is, Carter knows that that's a matchup she can win, drives it on the big, gets an and one, and flexes on him a little bit. And again, we want to understand all of our options. A hooper like Kennedy Carter can make a shot like this look easy, but for a lot of us, getting to this position is a tough finish. So in a different situation, after drawing this much attention from the defense, the easy option might be to kick to any one of these open shooters. And this is not faulting Carter at all for an and one, right? No one is mad when we get an and one opportunity. It's just something for the next play that comes around. Now this read is going to be fairly similar, with Leilani Mitchell taking it middle for a little floater. Again, good use of the screen, and we see the rest of the defense doesn't quite help enough to slow her down, so she takes it herself. So up top, she's patient, waiting for the screen to come get set, and this is a really good shot to see just how tight she's coming off the screen, and we can see her defender has no chance really of getting through it, and then it's just a matter of the help defense. Nobody quite pressures or comes and helps enough, and she's able to find a little bit of space for that floater. And note that this is not an easy shot over a center, so you either got to practice the hell out of that, or still attack and get into that lane and recognize where you got open shooters. The shot over top on the ball screen is a pretty simple but important read. Especially if you're a shooter and the defense doesn't come out to guard you, you got to make them pay for that. We typically see this option when the defender either goes under the screen or when the defense switches. And already we can see the on-ball defender, Jackie Young, is already setting up to go under the screen, meaning she's going this way. And then Stewart, the screener, does a pretty good job of actually making sure that she gets stuck under this screen. And as the second defender doesn't come up to help, Prince is wide open for the shot. And like I said, it's a pretty simple read in the sense that if you find yourself with this much space and you're a decent shooter, then it's a good time to pull that trigger. So this play, pretty similar concepts off a very high ball screen, and arguably not the greatest job on defense, but Sabrina still has to recognize it early and time that shot. Pretty much right away, we can recognize this help defense is not only standing too far back out of position, but she's kind of chilling, standing straight up on her heels, not exactly ready to come out and contest the shot. Even her teammate Mitchell recognizes this and makes an effort to get over, which is not even her job in this case. But that is too much space for a knockdown shooter. Sabrina recognizes it early and gets right into her shot, and she's already running back on defense because she knows that thing is going in. And like I've said, the shot over top is actually a pretty simple read. Usually you just find yourself with enough space, and if you're a good shooter, you knock it down. This clip is just the best example of setting a great screen without quite getting called for a moving screen for an offensive foul. So McCowan here initially sets a pretty good screen. That defender starts to go under, and McCowan, and I'm throwing up air quotes over here, rolls to the basket. And this is really not a foul. She's rolling to the basket, and that defender just happens to be in her way. And sometimes it's just clever little effort like that can give your teammate a wide open shot. And that is all I got for this one. Definitely check out the other ball screen videos.